VSiN, the sports betting network.
Follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
Here we go. Welcome in. It is Follow the Money on VSiN, the sports betting network, live in downtown Las Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino. Mitch Moss, Paulie Howard with you on a Tuesday for the next 3 hours. Loaded program, as always. Monday Night Football, the debacle that we watched for 3.5 hours last night. Big trades as a result from last night. Multiple teams, not just the Jets. We have Jensen Lewis in 15 minutes on a big game 2 in the ALCS. Guardians and the Yankees, Paul Stone, college football. Jeff Davis on NHL betting, and Derek Stevens in studio a little bit later on. Paulie, it is my dream to one day come in here during the football season and we don't have to talk about referees. I don't know if we're ever going to get there or not. But I thought last night was a disgrace to the game. They have put too much on the plate for these refs. And I know people were saying, look, they're getting these calls right. I would first of all disagree with that. And as I tweeted out during the game, if they would have called about half of those calls during the contest, I think everybody would have been okay with it and nobody would have even said anything the other direction. But it's too complicated for them. And now they're calling everything. And I can nitpick and go over all of these calls that I thought they got wrong last night. And then you're going to hear from Rodgers coming up in a second. When the opposing quarterback tells you it wasn't roughing the passer, maybe we should re-examine things a little bit.
Yep. You can't. If you're Goodell and if you're the league watching that game, how do you come to the conclusion this is good for business? And this is somehow what people want. The crew should be suspended. I don't want them anywhere near the field. The funny thing is what you just said, though, and makes it more infuriating, is they swallow the whistle playoff time and let these guys play. Back-to-back nights in the primetime games, the 2 holding calls that wiped away touchdowns were egregious and ridiculous. You don't make a call like that when the ball's at the 1-yard line and the running back is already in the end zone and by the play, and they call holding.
The play's already over with.
The play's over.
He's already scored. And the hold that was called on it is completely away from the ball.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with the play. It's over with. If you're going to enforce that, put it on the kickoff then. And oh, by the way, I'm super bitter because I had a nice bet on Allen at plus 335 to score a touchdown. That was a really nice feeling last night. Like, I don't even know what the hell we're watching half the time with this sport.
Yeah. He goes into the right side, and it's the plays on the other, away from the guy can't even get a hand on him. How's he going to make the tackle? Oh, that's holding. It's a bam play from the 1-yard line. Incredible. So it's unfortunate that happened. It was a great first half. It was supposed to be a great game, and it was ruined with no flow and unwatchable and absolute fiasco.
Yeah, and the Jets also stubbed their toe, I don't know how many times, 6, 8, 10 times during the game last night.
So we have a mutual friend, Fitz, and he works here at Circa, and he's from New Jersey. And I said after that, I go, how did the Jets lose that game? He goes, because they're the Jets.
Because they're the Jets.
And he's right. And you go back, you just can't lose that game. You're tied for first. You do the right thing. You get rid of Salah. You bring in Downing. He's calling the plays, and that happens. 2 missed field goals, the hold. Can't punch it in from the 1-yard line again. Penalties, again, every week the penalties with the Jets. Stupid. And the drops, and thank God Mike Williams is going to be gone now. Running the wrong routes. Rodgers needs to do a better job, but also he's not getting help by Williams and other players in the offensive line. But you just can't lose that game. You hold them to 3 points in the second half, and you blow the game at home yet again.
Yeah.
And it's what Evan Abrams tweeted. You're pissed off like everyone about why are New York teams always on prime time? Well, going back since 2019, they're 4-31 straight up. And there's 4 more primetime games with these guys, and the Jets are on Sunday night again.
Let's see here. Would we rather have the Jets, the Giants, or a team like the Commanders this year? You can flex.
Yeah.
Right?
They decided to flex Chicago and Washington to a late game, but not a Sunday night game.
It's maddening. It really is. Yeah, the O-line is not good. And what happened to the defense last night?
Yep.
Ray Davis comes in, and he looked like Earl Campbell.
Yeah,
he was awesome. Credit to that kid.
Come on, man. You got to fix the run defense somehow, some way.
Oh.
It's no surprise or secret what teams are going to do on you. You're great against the pass. You can't stop the run, and you still can't stop the run.
Yep.
So, again, you made the adjustments at halftime because they only scored 3 points, but the first half was an abomination. This is your life's on the line.
Up and down the field.
Your season's on the line. You win this year in first place. Everything's okay. And you come out flat like that, and again with the turnover. But I will say the offense looked good.
I was going to say, of all things, right, the offense, it was a 180 from the game in London against the Vikings. They had to have it. You figured they were going to get the spark. changing the head coach, and then the play calling ability there from Downing looked much better and different than it was with Nathaniel Hackett. And then the defense is like, we're good. We're still on vacation over in London.
I know.
So they couldn't put it.
job.
They couldn't put it together. The special teams abysmal again last night. Zerline, just in the year of 2024, when almost every single team has a kicker automatic from like 55, this guy's shanking them left and right. So then of course the news today. Well, before we get into that, this is I thought this was a great comment from Aaron Rodgers last night. Unhappy with a lot of the calls on the field by the referees.
Yeah, it seemed a little ridiculous. Some of them seemed really bad, including the roughing the passer on me. That's not roughing the passer. I was well play sarcastic ball if we're going to call those things. And I thought the one on Kinlaw was not roughing the passer either. So
I could go on and on and on. I thought the two defensive pass interferences on DJ Reed were questionable at best. The second one I thought was a joke. And I still can't get over the holding call at the 1 yard line.
I can't either. It was just as bad as the Sunday night game, what they called too. I mean,
So-
like Mike Tirico was laughing Sunday night. It's like the play's over. He has already passed him, and you call that. Now, you have to question Joe Douglas, too. Kinlaw not getting it done. Smith not getting it done. All the moves he made not getting it done. Reddick, where is he? They're going to trade him. You trade for him, he's not going to play you down. So now he hires Rosenhaus, new agent, after the agency fired him, so they're going to trade Reddick. Maybe he goes to the Lions, and like you and Von Tobel talked about. But are they 4-2 if they make the Adams trade right away when they should have? Maybe. Because guess what happened in the London game? They're going in to win the game, and Mike Williams isn't even looking for the ball on the final interception. He also was wide open. Rodgers throws it to him. He goes through his hands and hits him in the basket and misses that. And then he's wide open. Oh, you should have checked it down to Hall. Get out of here. Williams is open. He slips. He runs the wrong route.
Sure.
That kills him. They still could have won the game.
And try to make a play on the ball. I'm going to say not 4-2 because I thought Devontae Adams was hurt.
Well, sure, okay, that's fair too. But
really,
right.
Yeah.
But it's still. I mean, I know you're only a game back of the playoffs. You got to win Sunday against Pittsburgh. It's probably going to be Russell Wilson now, but you have a doable schedule. Now I'm just trading Williams and I'm putting Adams in there. I have Adams, Wilson, Lazard. The running game looked great. Hall looked great. Hall, you got to score on that though. Also,
how does he not?
How
score?
do you not? It's you and the guy. You got the angle on him too, but. The offense looked great. No more Hackett nonsense and that bozo. So I still think they can do this and get to 10 wins, and they can pull this off. But you got to win Sunday.
Sunday's
massive. You got to win Sunday because you lose your 2-5, and then you're really up against it. But you just see what the offense is capable of now. But it just goes back to what you could have had Vrabel. You should have demoted Hackett. All these shoulda, woulda, coulda. You never should have traded for Reddick. You should have got Adams earlier. Well, you're 2-4 now.
Leave it to the Jets, by the way. Last night, there was this very popular New York-themed parlay that a lot of bettors were making. It was the Yankees, who won. The Mets, oh yeah, they were good, no problem. On the ice last night, Rangers, Islanders, Devils all played. They all won. And so we got that feedback from Thomas Gable during the show yesterday, who's based at the Borgata in Atlantic City. He goes, it's one of the most popular bets on the board today. People are parlaying all the New York teams. And the Jets let that one slip away and had a chance to win it, 100 different times last night. And that would have been at least a 6-team parlay. And if people were putting the Nets on there in the NBA preseason, they won by like 30.
Yeah, they did. Adjusted win total, 8.5, under -155.
Can they get to 9?
Yes, they can.
Also, okay, so then what do you want to do with the playoff prop net then? The yes is +155. But can they get to 10? Because I think it'll probably... Can they get in with 9?
That's a little shaky, though, with these other teams, right? I mean, it's hard to make the case for some of these other teams. Certainly, it's doable. Does 9 get it done? That's why I'd rather take the +135 and just go over 8.5.
How about this?
I don't have to worry about it then.
Okay, even if they lose Sunday night at Pittsburgh, here's the stretch of games before the bye. They play at New England, they get Houston at home, at Arizona, and then they play Indy before the bye.
See, they can win all those games.
Oh, yes, they can.
They can.
Yeah.
They made Stroud look ridiculous last year. They won that game with Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
But they're gonna be tough. You can't look at that team and say, it's a win. No, lock it up. But, I mean, all these games moving forward are winnable. Seattle at home, the Dolphins, who knows what's going on with Tua. Jacksonville, the Rams. It'd be Tua in cold weather to close.
Right.
If
Tua's going to be back
right,
then.
Right.
Yeah.
Bills. I mean, all these games are winnable. They just blew that game. Unbelievable how they blew that game. I was shocked and appalled what transpired.
Yeah, because of the Jets.
Yeah.
Can't have nice things.
I know. That's right.
So that trade took place today. And look, I mean, they had to make the move, right? And clearly that was going to happen based on how much you could just tell the body language by Rodgers. He could have had a bubble over his head last night during that drop and how poorly Williams played again. And it was saying, get this guy off my team right now and make a move for Devontae Adams tonight. And they did. Well, earlier this morning anyway.
Now, how about the Bills say checkmate? Now the Bills go out and they get Cooper from the Browns.
How much you want to bet says Amari Cooper from this date forward has a good season?
I agree with you. I think he will, no doubt. That's a great pickup for the Bills.
I like it.
Yep.
Solid. Cooper can play.
Right. And how are the Browns going to win 5 games? I mean, you can't get him a ball anyways. Now he loses a big weapon. I mean, how?
Well, he wasn't getting him the ball anyway. I mean, he couldn't hit him in stride. I mean, before the game on Sunday.
But at least he's open, though. So I'm saying that if he can't, you know what I'm saying? It's like, well, now what are you going to do? It just gets worse for him.
So are we going to get a fire sale from the Raiders and the Browns? Raiders, I think, have to. I don't know if they're going to deal Crosby. I think they should absolutely consider that if the package is right. The Browns, Chubb's coming back, but Cooper goes bye-bye. Would they listen to any of their other like really good players on the team?
I think all these teams should be open for business.
So do I.
I think they should. Yep. Disaster. Again, that's a great pickup, though, for the Bills when you just see spreading it around.
Oh, yeah.
And now another weapon for them.
Up next, Game 2, ALCS, set for just over 3 hours from right now. Jensen Lewis joins the program, MLB Network Radio. Naylor and Ramirez have had success off Cole. How can we capitalize off that tonight with bets?
Time. There's nothing more valuable. It's what drives everyone to make the most of every moment. We celebrate living large in the now. In a city where time disappears, we create experiences that electrify the soul and memories that will last forever. We go big, we go all night, and here, everyone is invited. So get loose and get loud.
This is Circa. You'll have the time of your life.
Coming up Tuesday on Follow the Money, we recap Monday Night Football. Look ahead to Game 2 in the ALCS. Jensen Lewis on the program. Also, Jeff Davis to talk hockey from Circa. And Paul Stone college football picks. Follow the Money weekdays, 4 to 7 Eastern on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Want to see who at VSiN is on a hot streak? Go to VSiN.com/picks to see all the selections and weekly leaderboard of VSiN hosts, writers, and guests. Become a VSiN Pro subscriber and get every pick sent to your inbox daily. Just head to VSiN.com/pro.
So, Paulie, have you had a chance to read the VSiN Daily yet?
Yeah, came in at 3 a.m. What's Bill doing up that late?
Well, rumor has it starts off with a 12-hour meditation session.
Then he just pours himself over film and live TV, really focusing and taking it all in. Bill's in with the biggest insiders, talking trade secrets, strategies, the whole nine, absorbing the info.
And then and only then can the writing process begin.
In Las Vegas, Bill's Late Night becomes your early morning. Wake up to the very latest betting insights in your inbox with the VSiN Daily. Sign up for free at vsin.com/newsletter.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
So we do get Game 2, ALCS, Yankees at home to the Guardians, coming up in just over 3 hours tonight. Currently speaking, the Yankees between about $1.64 favorite and $1.68, and the total is 7. Jensen Lewis, kind enough to join us here on Game Day, MLB Network Radio, and he is on the Progressive Guest Line. Jensen, thanks for the time as always. How are you?
Good, boys. Must-win scenario tonight for the Guardians for sure, and excited to see how the aces play out between Bybee and Cole as well.
Yep, totally agree. So the numbers on Cole, postseason, going back to early August here, and career against the Guardians are all pretty incredible. 11-2 with a 2.59 ERA and 15 career starts against Cleveland. I will point this out. Naylor, 6-25, 2 doubles, 3 home runs off of him. Ramirez has been really good, 12-34, 3 doubles and 2 home runs. Do you think either one of those guys can have decent plate appearances and maybe do something off Cole tonight?
If Cleveland's going to win, Mitch, I think those two have to have big nights. And, if you want to get creative and throw them in a little wacky, crazy home run parlay, why not? I think for Jose, though, it means more to try and get this engine going. And Steven Kwan has been great at the top of the lineup, has had a surreal postseason thus far with Brian Rocchio. But let's face it, guys, stars have to be stars in the biggest moments. And I think Jose Ramirez, Josh Naylor, if they even this series, they would have to have a huge, huge say and a huge impact in doing that.
Why do you think it's so important? Not only they take the lead first, score first rather, but also it comes early.
Paulie, twofold. As Mitch kind of read off the career numbers, I mean, Garrett Cole has absolutely owned Cleveland throughout his career. And I think just for the mindset for Tanner Bybee to realize, like, okay, I don't have to be perfect. And I think he'll rise to the occasion tonight. But also to kind of counterpunch. We saw the Mets do that very early. Francisco Lindor, the leadoff home run. Mm-hmm. You could tell that got the momentum back for New York after they just got obliterated in Game 1. So I take that mindset from what I saw in NLCS Game 1 to Game 2. I think the same has to hold true for Cleveland, especially in enemy territory.
How do you feel about, can they scratch out anything against this dynamite New York bullpen and what they've done?
Yeah, I would say if Cole is under 6 innings, then yeah, I think they can. And the fact that they had Weaver in there to go 5 outs to get that save, I think is a huge boost for Cleveland, knowing that at least you had to make him do 1 up down and some pressure packed spots there, particularly the 8th inning. So it wouldn't shock me if the Guardian offense really tries to drive up Cole's pitch count. That being said, you're looking at one of the most prolific strikeout per 9 guys in postseason history in Garrett Cole. Mm-hmm. So strength against strength tonight, and you will see Cleveland's bullpen in force. I would fully expect Stephen Vogt to deploy all 4 horsemen tonight at some point.
So Cole's K-prop is 5.5. The over, I'm looking at as high as plus 125 the way it looks in the market. He's actually favored to go over at some other spots. Does he get the 6 against the Guardians in this game?
I think he'd be safe, Mitch, and buy down a little bit. And I think that's all predicated, too, on the urgency for Cleveland's offense to try and get a couple of the good first pitches in each at bat. So to me, you could see some quick outs if they're not making solid contact. I just don't know how many 2-strike counts he will have or Cleveland will let him get to the way that Carlos Rodon was last night. He really made them expand the zone. So if Cole has the high fastball going real early and they're biting on it, then yeah, I think he could get to the 6.
Now, you mentioned Kwan's postseason and how awesome he has been, kind of at the igniter at the top of that lineup for the Guardians. I brought up him to have a single last night. It was about $1.50, maybe a little bit higher than that. Now he gets to face Cole, upgrade obviously from Rodon, but he's minus 130 to have a single off Garrett Cole. Does he get on base tonight? If so, is it going to be anything more than a single?
Yeah, honestly, Mitch, I think you can get aggressive with Kwan tonight. You might even want to go 2 total bases right there, because I think with where kind of it sets up, not only in the familiarity department and the success there, I really do feel like Cleveland's offense will be in full attack mode. I mean, they know the numbers as much as we do. You go down 2-0 in a best-of-7 series. I think it's 84% that the team that's up 2-0 closes it out. So they realize the moment, and I think they also understand, too, with the way that Garrett Cole looked in Game 4 in very dominant fashion against the Royals, couple that with his history against Cleveland. Yeah, to me, if Cleveland has any chance in this game, it is early attack, it's early urgency. and the top of that lineup is going to have to do some damage.
You as a former pitcher, and you were in that ballpark many times, take us through how maybe the moment can be too big and what it's like in that hostile environment. You saw Cantillo come in, 11 appearances in his career. He wet himself out there.
Yeah, Paulie, it was a head scratcher for me, just understanding that, Cantillo traditionally a starter for most of the season between AAA and the big leagues. And you'd put Adriel Avila on the active roster before the series started, a guy that has really been great down the stretch in either, getting out of an inning and being able to give you some length. Even Eric Sabrowski with the left-on-left matchup right there, that to me felt more of, a guy in a reliever mindset who is used to doing it, especially on the road, rather than trying to force the issue with Cantillo and at least try and give him a clean inning perhaps there in the fourth. So, yeah, that was a major inflection point for me. We obviously know that the walks did not help between Cobb and Cantillo and the wild pitches too. So a lot of self-inflicted wounds there for Cleveland, in which it could have been a much different narrative if they get out of the threat.
Oh, yeah. What do you do if you're Boone now? Because Judge has been horrible, but he's not seen much to hit. He's 2 of 15. On the other side, Stanton's Babe Ruth. 13 home runs in 32 games now, what he's done. Do you move Stanton up and put him behind Judge?
Yeah, Aaron Boone is so good, Paulie, at just kind of letting guys do their thing. And unless something is really amiss with how Cleveland adjusts, and not only tonight, but maybe into game 3, depending on where the series is, I can't forecast that immediately. But also remember, the last couple of times that Cleveland has matched up with the Yankees in the postseason, they have owned Aaron Judge. They have created a lot of swing and miss. Now, he did get a sac fly RBI last night, but you could tell the MO. He was the guy they circled in the scouting report. Juan Soto is going to do some damage. He has hit well so far this year. But Stanton is Clark Kent, man. I mean, he is Superman when it comes to October, and he showed it again last night.
Do you have a best bet on this game tonight, or are you just going to sit back and enjoy it? Try to anyway.
I'm going to try and take my bias hat off here, Mitch, and I'm hoping that the equalizer comes through tonight. I think if you want to get creative, you can obviously put Cleveland in there and perhaps over a team total for them. If you think they get to Cole, maybe 3 or more runs, 4 or more runs there. I think we could still see an over tonight. I think the offenses could still be out there. And I'm kind of anxious. We all saw Rock the Baby a couple years ago with Josh Naylor. He loves the moment. He has struggled mightily to this point. It will not shock me if you get a couple of huge, massive hacks from him to try and go deep. And I think Jose Ramirez, a live home run threat as well.
Okay. Yeah, Ramirez, pretty decent price. Naylor, I saw, not quite 6-1, but in that 550, I think to 580 range anyway to hit one tonight. In the other series, are you surprised at the updated series prices? It goes back to New York. Dodgers laying about $1.55.
Yeah, and what's fascinating about that, Mitch, is the starting pitching is set up beautifully for Carlos Mendoza and the Mets. Luis Severino going tomorrow. Obviously, Jose Quintana has been dominant throughout the postseason. And think about this, guys. The Dodgers, if they find their way back to Chavez Ravine, are going to have to go back to a bullpen game. And that is a scary thought, knowing you got Sean Manaea on regular rest for a possible Game 6, and if they need be, Luis Severino, for a Game 7. Jack Flaherty's the only guy that we know for sure as a starter is going to get a legit shot on normal rest. So Walker Buehler tomorrow, guys, and he's pitched a lot of big innings for the Dodgers. It may be the most consequential start in his Dodger career to try and get them the momentum on moving day for the NLCS.
All right.
Great job, my friend.
Very good.
Good to talk to you.
Always, boys. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Jensen.
Great job on high heat, too. I saw you the other day. Cole against Cleveland, 11-2, 259, 15 starts. Yeah. Been awesome. What the bullpen's doing, 18 2/3. They've allowed 1 earned run. Weaver, 17 consecutive scoreless. I said this off air to Jensen. He couldn't. Dan Plesac last night said if you get any pick right now of the remaining teams, reliever, he takes Weaver over Clase.
Well, that's prisoner of the moment.
And what Weaver's been doing. But you have to move Stanton up in the lineup to get Judge some help, but also Judge, they had to try to get him going swinging at the 3-0 pitch with the sac fly. 2 of 15, 1 RBI, but it's also incredible they're in this spot and they're getting nothing from him. It's Soto and Stanton and the others.
Well, I don't think it's incredible. The opposing teams have been horrendous offensively.
That's true, too. Yeah.
I mean, you have to look at the pitching. Rodon was awesome last night.
Yeah, he was.
You just said it yourself. I mean, the bullpen has been untouchable. So these offenses have had no chance. The Royals did nothing in that series.
The Yankees also make you work, though. 34 walks, 37 strikeouts in the postseason. You go back, if they can even that or pull ahead with walks, it's happened twice going back in a postseason since 1961, twice.
Last time was 1980.
Can you believe that? Right. Imagine if they're going to have more walks than strikeouts.
Well, I mean, it's tough to pull off.
But it's like Jensen said, though, you're making it easy on them. You're throwing pitches in the dirt. You're walking people, wild pitch after wild pitch.
Yeah,
Come
sure.
on.
All right, let's follow the money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Up next, current win totals in the NFL. I look at some of these updated numbers and can only think to myself, how? How do they get there? We'll discuss next.
Sports betting game with VSiN's exclusive betting splits. Stay ahead with real-time market trends and track bet percentages on any matchup, then uncover the edge by comparing them to the amount of bets placed to find out where the sharp money is headed. Upgrade to VSiN Pro to access betting splits, live odds, line moves, power ratings, and in-depth game analysis. Go to VSiN.com/pro to join VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
We have some updated win totals here in the NFL. We talked about the Jets in the first segment. It's now 8.5 over is plus 130. Manageable schedule before the bye again. At Pittsburgh Sunday, it's a huge game. At New England, definitely winnable. Houston at home, okay, fine. Houston's good. They're not great. They're not playing like world beaters. At Arizona, Indy, then they get the bye. All right. Yep. So the team they made the trade with today, the Las Vegas Raiders, they are 2-4. Their win total is 5.5. They have to win 4 more games to go over. 4 more. Here's their schedule coming up. At the Rams this week, Cooper Kupp might play. Rams off a bye. The Chiefs the following week. At Cincy, bye week. At Miami, Tua should be back, although I will point out that's a terrible schedule spot for Miami. They get Denver at home, at KC, at Tampa. They're going to win 4 more games?
Can't see it.
I have no idea how they're going to do it. It would take...
It's a big ask.
I mean, never say never, obviously, but... They get Jacksonville late. I can tell you this right now. They are not beating the Chargers in Week 18 if that's meaningful for the Chargers. Mm-hmm. That's not going to happen.
This also will not change. And I know Mark Davis, it bothers him, but it's never going to change. And that is opposing fans coming here and taking over the stadium. Because I know a lot of people who have season tickets, and they'd just rather pay for their season tickets with that one game by selling them to whoever it may be.
Sure.
Steeler fans, Jet fans, Chief fans, Bronco fans, whatever. Mm-hmm. You know, the Jet fans came in here last year. The Steeler fans were out there strong Sunday. The Niner fans took over the building a couple years ago, and we know what the Chiefs and Bronco fans do every year. So it's not home field advantage.
No, 0.
And that's just going to be the case moving forward because everyone wants to come out here for the opposing fans to visit, hang out, play, and the season ticket holders have no problem saying, okay, sure, make me an offer.
Another trade today, the Browns shipped off Amari Cooper. He goes to the Buffalo Bills. Browns are 1-5. They have 3 games coming up before their bye. Updated win total is 4.5. Now, this number did budge a little bit yesterday because we said it was plus money to the under. No longer. It's minus 125. So they have these 3 games next here at home. The Bengals this week, Baltimore the following week, Chargers after that. I think it's a very good chance to go 0-3. They have a bye week. Then they play at the Saints. The Saints are in a really bad spot right now. They have a zillion injuries, and they're not good. Mm-hmm. They play Pittsburgh, at Denver, at Pittsburgh, and KC before their final 3 games. This team, again, needs to win 4 more to go over, and Deshaun Watson, unless he gets hurt, is going to be the starting quarterback for the rest of the year. How are they going to win 4 more games?
Yep.
And who knows, maybe they trade more players.
That's your big one. Had we done it Monday, I would have said, I don't want to overreact, but I don't think the Browns win another game. I'm serious. It's that bad. What they're looking at. You just can't go.
It's
0 of 25 on 3rd down.
It's dire straits right now.
Yeah.
For them.
Yeah.
So now, again, we're using DraftKings numbers here. If you shop around, you can find something maybe a little bit different. The Chargers are 3-2. DK has them 9.5. I found 8.5 over like minus 160.
I saw 10.5.
You saw 10.5?
Yeah. There's a 10.5 too. I got to look at the juice on that. Okay.
I have a season-long win total bet under 9 on this team. I think I'm going to lose, or I'm going to get a push. Best case scenario.
I know the schedule's really easy.
So it's actually easier today, I think, than it was before the season started in terms of competition. They're at Arizona. I love them on Monday night. Yeah. They get the Saints at home, at Cleveland. Then they play Tennessee, the Bengals, Baltimore, at Atlanta, at KC. The back end there, obviously a little bit difficult, but they close with the Broncos, at the Patriots, and at the Raiders. I have to change my tune on this team.
Yep.
I got to get off my bet of under 9. I think they're going to win at least 9 games now.
Mm-hmm.
It's easier today than in terms of overall competition than we thought going into the season, and that is saying something.
Yep. Love that they let Herbert cook too. And let him take some shots and more throwing as well. So this could be 5 in a row right here.
Oh, yeah.
It's absolutely in play.
That might be my favorite one that's available on the board right now.
Okay. Cosign on Cleveland. We know about the Patriots. There's nothing to work with there, although May hung in there and made some throws. How about Green Bay 10.5? Ooh, that's a big ask.
Yeah, it is.
Everything's going to have to go right. Injury standpoint, a lot of tough games in a brutal division. Right? The Packers are going to win 11 games. They're at 10.5. Houston's 11.5. which is absolutely doable if they can run the table in the division, which I think they can do, actually. And then you think, well, I could beat the Jets. I could be, how about some of the coin flip games coming up, and it starts Sunday against the Packers. But to be 5-1 and they're at 10.5, and they should run the table in the division. That's another one I highlighted. And the Dolphins 7.5 under plus money. Can they beat anybody other than New England here without Tua? And it was better offensively against New England. But then I got to see if they were able to make more changes and have any explosive plays now with the bye week and what happened.
Well, let me throw some games at you. They're at Indy this week.
Hey, you're 4-point dog. I don't know. It's supposed to be Richardson now. Supposed to.
Right. But you get Arizona at home the following week.
See, they're winnable, but
that's winnable.
I got to see what Daniel can do with the time off.
They go back-to-back road games, Buffalo and the Rams, and they go back home for the Raiders and the Patriots. They're going to win both those games.
Mm-hmm.
And Tua, again, bad schedule spot against the Raiders, but Tua's going to be back by then, we think anyway. But I still like it to go under.
As do I, yeah.
So this is one that I also made under 9 even money. It's a good story now the last couple of weeks. The Bears are 4-2. Updated win total at DK is 8.5. Over is minus 145. But here's where we're really going to find out about this team. The bye week here following their win against Jacksonville in London. After that, they play at Washington. They flex that to a late afternoon game on that Sunday. Then they play at Arizona. They get the Patriots. Okay, I'll give them a win there. They get Green Bay and Minnesota back-to-back at home as well. Then they play at Detroit, at San Francisco, at Minnesota. They close Detroit, Seattle, at Green Bay. Can they get 5 more wins to go over 8.5? My total of 9 from the preseason that we talked about, can they get 6 more to beat that? I don't see it happening.
Really?
No, God, no. That schedule is brutal.
Good division. Quarterback's getting better. A lot of weapons.
They need 6 more wins, and they've played teams so far that have combined to win 4 games.
Yeah.
So we'll find out a lot about this team. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And how about the Cowboys at 3-3? 8.5 with the win total. They get the bye this week. Here's their schedule after the bye.
Yeah.
Count the wins. At San Francisco, at Atlanta, Philly at home, Houston at home, at Washington. Does 3-3 turn into 3-8? Do we have to hop on the win total now under and then maybe come back for a middle spot when they lose 4 straight games?
With the exception of the Eagles and all their issues, who are they stopping there? Stroud, Daniels, Cousins, and Purdy in that offense.
Oh, and by the way,
go up and down the field on them.
So I point out that, tough games on the road, that doesn't even matter with this team. They've been the worst team in football at home going back to last year.
Mm-hmm.
So there is no home field here for this team. They get blown out every single... Jerry's World means nothing. So,
all fair point. I don't know what to do with Seattle now. Now they're back to where we were. They were win total was 7.5. They start 3-0. Now the losing streak, we're back to 7.5 now. I don't know what to do with this team.
Yeah.
The Giant loss looks horrific now.
They have tough games coming up, too. They're at Atlanta. They get Buffalo. They get the Rams. They're at San Francisco. They're at the Jets, at Arizona, Green Bay, Minnesota. That was a great start to the season, and it's a sinking ship. Give you one more.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on the Niners under 11.5. Updated total at DK is 9.5. They're 3-3. I'm pretty sure I can find at least 6 more wins on the Niners schedule. KC this week, very difficult. Chiefs off the bye. They get Dallas the following week. They should beat them by 40. Mm-hmm. They're at Tampa. They get Seattle at home. That's a mismatch. They play at Green Bay. They're at Buffalo. But Bears, Rams at home, at Miami, Detroit, at Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
Can they get to 7? Can they get to 8 more wins? That might be too much of an ask. But I think I get to at least 6, and then coin flip games, maybe they win another one to go over 9.5.
They can get to 9. They can do it. They're that good. It's got to cut out the nonsense, the turnovers, and the Shanahan blowing leads. Absolutely. Plus, the favorite against the Chiefs. You got the revenge angle, too. Put the VSiN experts to work for you this football season. Start betting smarter with a VSiN Pro subscription. Sign up today. Get your first year for only $1.99. Promo code FTM. Access to everything we do. Every best bet, every host, every guest. The dog videos. The Steve Mackin betting systems. The betting splits to show you where the money and bets are moving every game. And the all-new NBA betting guide, which starts next week. It's out. Get it. Get ready for the NBA season. Promo code FTM $199, VSiN.com/subscribe. Get it now, VSiN.com/subscribe.
I'll give you another one. I don't know if Jacksonville gets to 7. The under 6.5 is minus 170. Patriots this week, okay, that should be a win. Then they get the Packers. They're at Philly, Minnesota at Detroit, the bye, and then Houston. That's moving forward from that. They're going to win 6 more games. That team's going to be 7-10.
Are the Chiefs going to go 14-3?
Anything's possible.
Yeah, you think still 13.5?
Possible.
Still all these injuries, 13.5.
I couldn't bet 13.5 over, but golly. Win some, lose some up next, and we'll discuss college football games on the board tonight on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
In the heart of downtown Las Vegas, a sports oasis awaits. Stadium Swim, the ultimate outdoor amphitheater, built for the ultimate sports fan, with a colossal screen that brings the game closer than ever. Reserve a daybed, private cabana, or lounge in the center of it all. 6 pools to dive into as the game heats up. And the best part, there's never an off-season. Open 365 days a year. Stadium Swim, it's always spectator season.
Matt Brown and Mike Somich are on Ready, Set, Bet as they get you ready to make your bets as the last batch of football games kick off.
What I took away from this is I want to bet against the Patriots when they're behind by 2 scores.
We were going, well, I wonder if this team's actually better than we thought. They're not. They don't have enough talent.
Don't miss out on crucial advice for live betting once the game starts, as well as looking ahead to the upcoming action. Tune in to Ready, Set, Bet Saturdays at 7 p.m. and Sundays at 8 p.m. Eastern on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. last night?
Wow, winning.
Or was it a rough one?
Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Loser! You're a loser! Paulie Howard recaps the night in sports betting in Win Some, Lose Some.
ALCS Game 2, Lindor home run plus 360. First home run of the game, 10-1. And a home run and a Mets win was 7-1 here at Circa. Vientos to go deep plus 440. Game 1 ALCS, Soto 4-1. We told you he owns Cobb. Home run, Yankees win plus 555. Stantonian again, 4-1. I can't believe how many home runs he's hit in these games. 13 home runs in 32 postseason games. That's Babe Ruth stuff. To go deep and the Yankees win plus 555 also. Monday Night Football. First touchdown, Josh Allen, 7-1. Wilson, 100 yards, 4-1. Well, it was wild. With 33 targets the last couple of games. And now Adams comes to town. But, hey, Lazard, touchdown, plus 320. Excellent job by ESPN foreshadowing, showing the Hail Mary history, and then the Hail Mary happens.
You want to talk about perfect timing?
It's great.
They ran down the entire history there. Like, as there was a timeout on the field, what are they going to do? He's going to throw it deep.
Yeah.
And they had him all ready to go, man. Rodgers' history, there's one right after another, and boom, Lazard comes down with it.
Yep. Rodgers to throw for 275, 4-1. Both teams to score in the first quarter, plus 180. Hockey, Rangers 190 up to 240. And they got it done. Subscribe, be part of the team, VSiN.com, our radio and podcast friends. You always want to see these tweets and videos at Paulie Does Vegas on Instagram. Send it in. We'll put you on TV. The dog is scared with the hand puppet here. Coming in. The hand shadow. He's on the deck. And he freaks out like something's coming at him, right? It's like, what is this hand with the shadow? And he jumps back. Look at the other guy. I'm trying to take a nap. What's your problem? You fall for this. He's all freaked out by it. Oh, this is great. The dog falls in love with the seagull toy. And they go to the store, and he wants it going back every day, and he's trying to get it. And he jumps up, and let's get this toy, and let's try to grab it with the crane, put the money in, and he just the look on his face. Can we finally get it? Is today the day? They go back. He waits every single day. Finally coming down, and then we finally got it. And then the look on his face and all the tickets they have to go through to try to get it done. And he's sticking in all those tickets. Just give me the toy, right? Yeah, high five, right? Give me the toy. And then finally they're able to grab the seagull toy, and you see what happens at the end and all the tickets they had to spend. And he gets it and he carries it around wherever he goes now after getting the toy. Just give me that. Good for him, finally. Day after day after day, we finally got the thing. And now he loves it. They're the best. Mitch? It's spooky season. There he is walking down the street with his toy. It's spooky season. Look at this. You got the French Bulldog on the couch and the other guy in the back with the thing you usually put out for the kids and trick-or-treaters with the candy and the look on the face like, what is this thing? The other guy jumps off the couch. He's trying to get at it with the toy and the goblin coming in with. Now he's trying to bite it. That is excellent. At Paulie Does Vegas
Too
on
much
Instagram.
of a trick.
That's right. Absolutely. Dogs are freaked out by that thing. One lose some. You mentioned it. Of course, the Jets blow the New York, New Jersey parlay. Yankees win, Mets win, Rangers win, Islanders win, Devils win, Nets win, Jets lose. 4-31 straight up in prime time. Jets and Giants since 2019. Thanks to Evan Abrams. Yeah, bad. Nothing worse than getting bombarded all across social media with people trying to sell you subscriptions to betting picks without any transparency. And if you get red-hot betting and think your picks are worth money, Juice Reel changing the way sports bettors buy and sell betting advice. Everyone's bets imported straight from the books. You're as good as your betting data says you are. Unlock the picks that real talented bettors have their money on. Get paid real money when other people unlock your picks. Fully transparent betting advice from real people only on Juice Reel. Download for free iPhone or Android. REEL, Juice Reel. Grab your phone, download it now, get the app Juice Reel.
All right, 3 games tonight on the board. College football. You got some really bad teams in action tonight. Troy and South Alabama play. They're each 2-4 ATS. Middle Tennessee is 1-5 ATS. Kennesaw is 1-4 against the spread. Maybe you can take advantage of it here, though. New Mexico State is 1-5 ATS, and they are dreadful. They're catching 11.5 tonight. Pretty much across the screen right now. La Tech 3-2 overall. I know people have been making the case for La Tech to have no problems here. Are you one of them?
I know double digits on the road, but certainly it was ugly Well, it's been ugly the last 5 games for New Mexico State. Not only 1-5 straight up, 1-5 ATS. It appears Louisiana Tech has found something with Bullock, this freshman quarterback. Remember, they played last week, too, speaking about the Aggies. They lost 54-13. Tony Sanchez is their new coach. Remember, they were good. They won 10 games last year, and then Kill left. And all their coordinators left, too, and they promoted Sanchez. And he didn't work out here at UNLV. He used to be a high school coach here in Las Vegas. So, I'm with you on Louisiana. I think I have to only look at Louisiana Tech. They're bottom 10 in offense, 18 points per game, and they allow 38 a game, bottom 10.
Yep.
This is a horrible New Mexico State outfit. This is also big if you listen to Paul Stone in the summer, and also if you listen to Brad Powers' podcast and stuff in the summer. This is big for the win total because they still have Texas A&M coming up. So essentially, if New Mexico State loses this game, they're going to have to win out to go over the win total.
Can I point this out, too? What does this really say about Liberty? Liberty played New Mexico State a month ago.
I know.
And they won 30-24, but they had to score 21 points in the fourth quarter to beat them.
You're right.
They had no chance of covering that game. And as we've seen it play out since, New Mexico State is an abomination, and they almost beat Liberty.
Yeah.
That's all you should need to know. I mean, Liberty obviously done.
Yep. I do.
Playoffs.
You're right. I can't believe that. I saw 6-1 today. I mean, it just can't be. That can't be the price. Paul Stone also mentioned this too in the summer. He recommended Troy win total under, and you lose your coach and you don't return anybody. Only 4 starters came back. They won 11 games last year and 12 the year before, and we made money on this team on futures. They're 1-5. It's a disaster. South Alabama. They've used 3 quarterbacks. They're 108th in rush defense. They're 110 in points per game on offense. South Alabama can put it on them tonight.
Yeah, they're laying, let's see here.
It's 11.
It says 11 there. I'm seeing right now, shop around 10.5, 11.5s are out there as well. So what do you make of South Alabama in general? Started 0-2, lost in a high-scoring game to North Texas, lost to Ohio, came back.
North Texas good.
They scored 87 against Northwestern State. Okay. But then the following week, everybody's like, that doesn't mean anything. They're going to get blasted by App State. App State was laying more than a touchdown. The exact opposite happened. They killed Appalachian State.
Yep.
Went to LSU, lost big, and then lost last week, 2 weeks ago, actually, at Arkansas State in a close game.
Well, I know they'll run it up. You know, I go for that,
the
other,
87,
that other touchdown.
Look
sure.
no further than that.
Do that as well in what they did. Yeah. They have firepower, and Troy can't score. So, boy, what a fall. To go from 11 wins, 12 wins, and now you might win 2 games this year. The other one, I can't. Middle Tennessee and Kennesaw State, I can't.
Nah.
Not much there.
I think
two horrible teams.
I think it'd be it would be La Tech here.
Yeah,
laying the points against New Mexico State.
Yeah.
All right. What did you notice, by the way, with updated totals, win totals in college football that you like?
At Will Hill, Miami's 11, under -150. Got to go undefeated to get you.
Oh man, I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, you're a 4-point favorite against Louisville.
Sure.
Ohio State is 10.5. Do they win out? They'd have to go to Penn State #1. We know they'll beat Michigan. But 10.5.
That's a great question. Is it worth a bet?
I think it is. I think they run the table.
Okay, so
but I like this better.
How about this? How about you just bet them on the money line against Penn State then?
Okay. Penn State 10.5 over -150. Can still lose. Can lose to Ohio State. They go to Wisconsin. Maybe Wisconsin has found something here offensively. I don't know.
I think they probably have, but is it good enough to battle Penn State for 60 minutes and maybe beat them? I'm not so sure about that.
Clemson, 10.5. Over, +130. They're going to run the table. They're going to get it done.
I think we talked about their schedule yesterday.
It's very easy.
Do they have any landmines on there?
At Pitt, it'd be at Pitt, but I don't.
South Carolina, the final game of the year. South Carolina.
They get them at home. I think it. Yeah, but if your tough game is at Pitt, I think Clemson. The way they're playing offensively.
Yeah, I think that's probably it. Like Tech's not going to get them, are they? Do they lose at home to Louisville?
No,
probably not. Either one of those. Maybe at Pitt or South Carolina would be pretty much it.
And they're off a bye too there, before the Louisville game. They're also +120 to win the ACC. Will Texas go undefeated? No, -185. Will Oregon go undefeated? Yes is 155 now. Regular season only.
But where are they going to lose?
I think Oregon does it. Texas, I don't know. That boy, things have changed. What was that in the summer? $6?
$6
on the no.
Yeah, and I had a strong comment on that too. But if Texas beats Georgia this weekend, where do they lose in the regular season?
Yeah, that'll move big time.
Yeah. All right, we'll continue the college football conversation. Professional sports bettor Paul Stone will join the show. We'll get his thoughts on Texas, Georgia, and also some of his best bets for the weekend. Coming up next here on VSiN.
VSiN's got you covered for the start of the season with our football special. For $175,